gonna be awesome. Okay, let me bring up some slides, and we will kick off. Computer, there we go. Awesome. Can you guys all see that?
Yes.
Fabulous. All right.
Oh, you need
Well,
to.
firstly, I just want to say welcome. I'm excited that so many of you have jumped on to spend the evening with us. We'll try and keep this real short, succinct, to the point, hopefully really inspiring, but really just a kind of behind the scenes of what we do, why we love it, and why we would love to welcome you to join us. So, yeah, let's just kick off, shall we? We'll do a few little kind of introductions via faces of who we are, who some of us, this is only like less than half of us, but just so that you can get a feel for some of the people in our community. Sophie, are you speaking to this? No. Okay. Well, anyway, these are some of our leaders. We've dellied up all the slides, you see. Yeah, and we all have various stories. A lot of us are mums, and we either want to stay at home with our kids or, are involved in either full-time jobs or multiple full-time jobs, like some of us. And yeah, all really want time freedom, and we want to be able to do something that's meaningful, and just love helping and serving other people. So. We all have different we've all got different backgrounds. Obviously, if you don't know me, my name's Nikki and I come from a nursing background. We've got, lots of like Astrid's a nurse as well. We've got teachers. We've got fitness instructors, like the works, which is really exciting. So there are some faces for you to get to know. Now, this one here, this is Sam, isn't it?
It's me. Hi everyone, I'm Sam. I live in Nelson and we've currently got a storm. Like it's always the stormy nights that we have these calls. So I do apologize if the sound quality isn't great. I'm a primary school teacher. That's my background. So I have been in the doTERRA business for coming up 4 years now. And originally I didn't back myself. And when Nikki invited me to a call like this, I was like, no way. Like I'm a primary school teacher. Like, what can I offer people? So yeah, I think I gave it half a day and then I was like, actually, Nikki, I've got some people in my mum's group. Like, um, let's see where that takes me. And here I still am. 4 years later. So I've got the pleasure to talk to you tonight about why now, and I think like it's a good reminder that I don't think there's any like if there's any like time it's like the best time. Like I was at home, I had three children in 3 years, so I thought mum life was busy then. Some of mine are at school now, and now I'm a full time taxi service from the hours of like 3 till 6. So, if you're in that phase of your life, like you'll know exactly what I mean. Every season comes with its own like challenges, but also like amazing, stories. But for me, I was like, oh no, like I've got three children at home. I don't know if I can I have the capacity. But I just kind of like dipped my toes in. I thought for myself and my family, I was starting my low tox journey. So I thought if I could like supplement a little bit of my order or pay for my whole order in a month, I'd be so happy. Like my husband would be so happy as well because that would take pressure off our food bill because I wouldn't be buying all those toxic items in the aisles at the supermarket. So I thought, like what have I got to lose? I've only got, my health and my family's health to gain. But yeah, I have an online business. I kind of built my business backwards. I didn't build it with family and friends. I thought of a bigger picture, a slower picture in some ways, but very grateful that I said yes to the opportunity. And I think, if you take anything away from tonight, from what I'm saying, like just have a wee think of like no time's probably a good time, but just go back to like why you're wanting to start your business? Like, what would it mean for you? For me, like I said, it was having my order paid for. I was starting my low tox journey and trying to pitch it to my hubby because it came as an extra added cost that he wasn't expecting in our budget. We were a single income family. Um, but I've done a wee deep dive. I'm so sorry if you're from Australia or any other country. I've only looked at New Zealand stats. But Stats NZ, last year they asked a range of Kiwi families how much extra income per week would make a substantial difference in the weekly budget. And the average was $150 to $300, which is quite a big difference, and that is actually after tax per week. So you're looking at almost 8,000 at the lower end and almost 16,000 at the upper end. So that's quite a substantial amount. If we look at having income, if you're a stay-at-home mum, for example. But for you, it may be, paying for your order or buying organic chicken. Or it might be, going for meals out or family holiday. Like for, you and your capacity, definitely start with, why you want to start your business. And yeah, there's no cap on like what you can earn as well, which is super cool. Like as a primary school teacher, top of the pay scale, I knew after however many years that was me. Whereas now I'm like, oh, I'm replacing days in the classroom with my doTERRA pay, and also I can go part-time teaching, which is super cool. And I know that's not for everyone. Some people are like, actually, I don't want to go back to work, or hey, you know what? I'm going to make this a full-time gig. But whatever it is for you, like there's room in our business. There's room in our community for whatever you need for you and your family.
Yeah, I love that so much. So good. Very well said. Um, yeah, I just want to add that direct sales or network marketing, which doTERRA is a very, very fast growing business. It's not going anywhere. And it's like, yeah, it's due to hit $250 billion in 2030. So if you're going to join any industry, this is the one that you need to get in now because it's just going crazy. And it makes sense, right? Like it's something that we can do around our kids, around our priorities, at a speed and at a pace that we want to, and find really fulfilling purpose. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a bit. But I think one of the big things that I love about doTERRA, when I'm comparing it with other companies that offer the same opportunity, not as good, but similar in terms of product, is what we're selling, and the actual vision and the mission behind that in terms of actually changing people's lives for the better. Getting products in their homes that we know work and that create profound change for people, that reduce their toxic load, which, if you know anything about me, is like my big jam. Get people, using a natural alternative versus a pharmaceutical. Like it's just awesome, really rewarding work. So yeah. Anyway, why we love working here. Now, this is just a little bit of a look at some of the cool things about doTERRA specifically. Around why this is a really cool workplace. They've actually been winning some really awesome awards, not just for products, this is one of the International Global Makeup Awards. So the products are incredible, really varied as well. So it's not like you just have to sell essential oils. Like, no. Like we have a huge entire product range, which is awesome because you can actually really dive into whatever you're really passionate about. And obviously for me, like that's kids' health. So I share quite a lot related to that. But, whether it's hair care or, whether your jam is actually metabolic health, we've got the collagen, we've got the supplements, we've got, all of these awesome products that you can really hone in on. But in terms of like an actual place to work, they were rated in the top 100 companies for championing, I can't say that word, sorry guys, women, which is which for me is really important. I love that. And being the best place to work for women. Like we have an incredible culture. There are a lot of workplaces out there that don't have a great culture, but doTERRA, obviously you're working with people, so there's going to be, issues as you grow your business, but for the most part, relationships are strong, relationships are healthy, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Company of the Year in healthcare products. Now, again, for me, this is really exciting coming from a healthcare background, but the fact that these essential oils are going into hospitals and they're actually pharmaceutical grade, is something that we can be wildly proud of. Most innovative skincare product. Now, that's in America. Unfortunately, we don't have that here yet. Best collagen supplement. We definitely have that, which is very exciting. Sustainability initiatives. Now, Sophie's going to talk a little bit more about this in a bit because this is really her jam. But as a company, not only are we, sourcing oils responsibly, which is very, very important. We are trying to do a lot of things to ensure the ethical sourcing of oils, but also the sustainability for these oils in years to come. And that should give us all like a real reassurance that we're not going to, end up dried up of stock. Like these guys are putting into place things right at the start to ensure that these oils are going to be available for years and decades to come, which is really exciting. So now this is you, Soph.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, I think Sam and Nikki have touched on this a little bit as well of what we might have come from, what we might be doing alongside it, and how doTERRA really is elevating our position as empowered women and giving us this other choice, whether we're mums or whether we're somewhere else in that journey. And I come from a different background. I come from a bit more of a corporate background. And I just did not want to go back to the office after having my kids. And having this option to work from home, to do a business around people I actually wanted to spend time with, not necessarily like my random office colleagues, and actually do work that I found really meaningful. That was a huge piece for me, which I'll talk to in the next slide a bit more. But I think that's one of the key things with when you're working with an employer or you're working for a company or you just doing an admin job to literally trade your time for money, whether it's a salary or a wage. You're showing up, you're doing the hours, and that's what you get. That's the vision of the company. You get to do this your way.
Yep.
Like Nikki said before, you could run an entire business on the supplements. You could focus in on the healthcare or childcare. You could literally go with the skincare and you could run your own business. You can run this alongside another business that you're doing, whether it's in synergy, like we've got different professionals in different industries, like beauticians or chiropractors or whatever, and then you've got some of us who run other things around it. I also have been contracting to through a trust with the sustainable work that I do, and we rely on grants. And my colleagues today, I've just found out they've basically just been made redundant because the funding hasn't come through. So it's really unstable. Like any job like this out in the market, the amazing thing about doTERRA is the stability and the really smart business structure. I also came from a previous direct selling company, and there was no actual business structure, and it kind of fell over because yes, the product was beautiful, but if you don't have the real amazing backing of business acumen minded people who've set this up, I think we're so incredibly fortunate. If you don't come from a corporate role and you are a mum or a teacher or a nurse, you can still run a business that's so incredibly well set up and you got a lot to fall back on there, especially with support from corporate and just the way the new comp plan is, which we'll show you a bit in a minute. But yeah, the unlimited potential, all of that, it's incredible. And one of the reasons I joined was because of the free personal development. I was like, oh, I'm going to use this to support my other business, and then left that, came over here.
So good.
So yes, I mean, we really are on the cutting edge in terms of the health movement that's happening worldwide. Everyone is always needing more health in their life. And the research that goes into our products, I don't know if you guys are all aware or across the depth of science and studies that actually backs the product that we have in our ranges. It's really second to none. It's not like, oh, well, why don't we just make a new shade of lipstick? Like the depth that goes into creating a supplement or an oil blend, or what we have to use so that we actually know it's going to work and really support people is so key. And that's why it's able to be used in things like the hospitals, like the lavender that is pharmaceutical grade. And one of the big pieces for me is the sustainability and ethics. So again, my background's a little bit in sourcing and environmental businesses and things. So just knowing that as a customer, I was purchasing something that I could fully trust, there was total transparency. It just gave me such peace of mind. And then to make a decision to go, okay, this is actually a business I feel I can ethically partner with. I can't work for a business where I don't trust the supply line.
Yeah.
I can't buy a product I can't trust it, let alone work for it. So something that I massively value is the Source to You website, where we can actually see the certificates and see that broken down. The work that's happening directly with the farmers and growers in our co-impact sourcing, where we don't have a middleman. We're working literally with the people on the ground in all these different countries, which then means that we get to give back to them because we know them and what their community needs. So whether that's building schools, wells, hospitals, setting up cooperatives for them to be more sustainable in the way they harvest their product. And then a huge piece that's been on my heart for a really long time, but finally this year I'm taking action in it, is Healing Hands, which is our charitable arm, like our philanthropic part of the business, which has been set up to give back all over the world. So everywhere that we're working with communities, we partner with the Healing Hands Foundation to help in projects that are occurring in that particular part of the world. So there's like maybe 5 or so different projects happening in Australia. One of them is the Esker Bags, which is helping women. So the 5 pillars are like children and women, like at-risk women and children, at-risk youth, natural disasters, and human trafficking. So huge values for us, I think, as a team. And so in New Zealand specifically, we partner with Women's Refuge. So I'm doing lots of Healing Hands work at the moment with all of my classes and things, where anyone that comes and buys a ticket for something, we're putting that towards a fund for Healing Hands for Women's Refuge, and Healing Hands are going to double it. So every single product that you buy or sell goes towards this Healing Hands fund, this big, beautiful coffer that is doing wonderful things around the world. And that is actually a really sustainable way of doing charity work, because we get to constantly fund that throughout just changing our own health outcomes and supporting other people with their health journey. So just feel super good about that's happening anyway, whether you plug into it or not. Like everything that you use, every day that you put an oil on your hand or you brush your teeth, you're doing something good for people all around the planet.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Some other bits and pieces that are important to know. doTERRA, right from the start, has always kind of claimed to be a legacy company. And what they mean by that is that it really is able to be built and taken with you throughout your life. And even, passed down to your kids, this beautiful business opportunity, and, what you've created, if you so desire, which is incredible. The founding executives, so the 6 men and 1 woman that got together right at the start and actually founded this company have a lot of integrity. We have met many of them, some of us leaders, which is awesome. And the people that you meet are exactly the people that you see on the videos, traveling around the world, meeting these partners. They have a lot of integrity. And one of the good things about doTERRA that also can give you a lot of confidence in partnering with them is that they're what they call a net debt free and privately owned. Now, what this means is that well, when they first started doTERRA, these 7 owners made the decision not to get investors. They double mortgaged their homes, and they put all of their own money in to create and to start doTERRA. And what that meant was that there is oftentimes the way that businesses work is they have these people on their committees who are in it to, basically for getting money back. They're investors, right? That's what they do. They invest in companies to get them going, but they want a return. And oftentimes that means that they have a say in the decisions the company makes. And those decisions need to be for the greatest return. Because doTERRA don't have that, the decisions they make, yes, they want to obviously make money so that they can, give more, but the decisions they make can be for benefiting the most people, helping the most, which is amazing. So yeah, I love that about them. Now, this is a really, really important thing. If you have looked into potentially another direct sales company to partner with, this is something that's going to really set doTERRA apart. I mean, all these things set us apart, but this one in particular. Now, the average, what we call retention rate, and what I mean by that is a retention rate is the percentage of people that are going to purchase again. So say they grab their home essentials kit, the percentage of people that purchase one time and then purchase again from you is 65%. So 65% of people are going to purchase again. The average for amongst all industries in this industry in direct sales is 4 to 8%. So you can see it's a wildly high retention rate, which means that it's a whole lot easier to grow a sustainable business here because you're not having to reinvent the wheel every single month and find new customers, because people love the product, they love the community, they love the education, and they are transforming their lives. They are lowering the toxic load in their homes, and they want to buy again because A, they're having success, the products are awesome and they actually work, and they're being supported and educated, with how to do this. So yeah, we've already talked a little bit about the culture and the community, which we would love you to be a part of. Compensation plan we're going to talk about in a minute. And this is another important one around market saturation. So even though I think in wellness spaces, a lot of people know about essential oils, not many people actually have doTERRA in their homes. They may have heard of doTERRA. Lots of people have not. But just so less than 2% of, 1.13% of New Zealand homes have doTERRA and 2% of Aussie homes. So really, really exciting possibilities for getting more wellness tools into homes.
So good. Amazing. That just lights my fire every time I hear all of this goodness. Hi, everyone. I'm Kaz Jones, if we haven't met before. And I'd love to just have a look at, what has perhaps brought you here today? It's what do I need to do? What's next? How do I even think about starting or going ahead here? I mean, congratulations that you've just showed up and done something for yourself this evening. Know your why and have a vision. That's the first. And I think, like so many of us have said here this evening already, you've heard a lot of our whys or what our backgrounds or experiences are. So if you have a real passion about the environment, doTERRA is for you. If you have such a passion about helping others, who can I serve today? And Healing Hands is there for you. There's some beautiful arms of this business that speak to all of us. Some have mentioned being involved with kids or low tox living. What is your why? Why this and why now? Sam spoke on earlier. For me, if I look at 3 things that, if I'm going to be super selfish and what do I want and what's my why and why do I want to do this, is because I want happiness. I want health, not just for me, but for my family. And I want to be stress-free. And if stress-free comes with being a little bit more financially stable, because I can pay for the kids' swimming lessons and I can, we can go on a little weekend away without having to question it, or, I can pay the bills, or I can get gifts for Christmas way in advance. Like, Is that my why? That's okay too. If you would like to earn money and trade your skills and passion for being paid either by goods, products, or funds, then that's an okay why to have as well. And your vision might be that you want to contribute. It sounds crazy, like to the mortgage, or you want to take a step back from work, like Sophie said, did not want to go back. I hear that. My vision is that I have health, happiness, and that I'm stress free from being able to just pay for little things here and there and save and go on a family holiday. But like, I'm here in my pajamas in my bed. I am working from the most comfortable position I can think of. I put my kids to bed, and I was available for my family today as well at the same time. I did also squeeze in a full-time job today and maybe another business on the side and about 6,000 errands. But at the end of the day, my why is that my happiness, I mentioned that to you, this brings me joy, so much joy. This is my time. So everyone's in bed, the house is quiet. I'm like, yes, I get to sit down with this community that I have so much respect for, and the company that I would just pay to align with, but here I am. So that's my why, kind of, in my vision. Secondly, is to be a passionate user of the products. Obviously, we want people to embrace the lifestyle and share organically from what actually speaks to them. I personally do not sell beard oil. I don't know if you can tell why. I've never made it, used it, or shared it. I'm sure there's an epic one out there, but for me, that's not organic. That's not that's not who I speak with. And so, when something runs out at home, replace it with doTERRA. Try it, research it, be ready to share and love it. And that's what comes up there next, is to be a learner and be willing to share. And, I don't know everything. I had no idea what peppermint did when I first started. I hosted my first workshop and I probably Googled peppermint on the side. Like, no, I knew it worked for me, and that it made me feel really good of an afternoon. I had clarity. I was able to use it in like a congestion, kind of like chest drop. And I was able to share my experience, but I didn't actually know what it was, scientifically or, marketably good for. But it didn't matter because I was willing to be a learner. I was willing to put my hand up and go, personal development courses? Yes, please. Business, social media course? Yep, I'm there. Do I know about that? I know a fair bit about it, but you know what? I'm going to come anyway. And I had my hand up and willing to be there, and then to share it. So, you go to a cafe, you buy something at Kmart, you tell your girlfriend, it's the first thing, oh my gosh, I got these, they're so amazing, they're only $5. And, you go back to this cafe, you've got to try the coffee there, it's so good. The coffee shop's not giving you kickbacks, neither is Kmart. Are they produced ethically? Probably not. Like, all of these things, we can come from a doTERRA background and we can actually be passionate users, share organically and from the heart, and actually be rewarded. So that title of that slide there, what do I need? It's like, what do you not need? Like, as you can see, there are so many pluses there. I have so many notes, but I'll move on because I know that there's so much here that we need to go through. I think next up, what would be really good to have a look at is basically what's involved in a day. So in my day, and I do have a lot of little ones, so I need to run the house by myself, or say 24/7, and the kids, that's also my other job, and I have another job and a business to run, a family company as well. And so my days are busy, but I don't have to go to an office to do it. I get to get up, do the morning grind, come back, flick the kettle, put the washing on, get dinner ready. That is what's involved in my day. So even though I'm wearing different hats throughout the day and I might go to different places, in my day there could be classes, workshops, or a consult. So I might have a lady pop over for a cup of tea, or I might meet her in her lunch break, or a guy out on site, and I might talk to him and his staff about anxiety and overwhelm in the heavy industry that they're in. So I'll mix it up with personal community work, because I love being in my community, and I'm quite comfortable in that space, and a lot of people aren't, and that's okay. And so online might be your demographic, and you might just be epic at communicating, reaching out, making friends, starting relationships online, doing, a post or a tutorial type thing. That could be your jam. I like to dabble in a little bit of each in whenever I get time. So my personal doTERRA journey is 5 minutes here, an hour there, 3 hours on a Sunday if the kids have gone out for a bike ride with dad and an ice cream or something. So I'm a little bit like this, but it works for me and for us. And I know that if you just have an hour an evening, that could be a really great start. So you're sitting on the lounge watching TV, turn that hour into something a bit more involved here. It's whatever works for you. And it is a time versus effort versus reward, obviously. So, we're being really realistic here as well, that we're not going to set you up for, disappointment if you're only putting in, 5 minutes here or there. But we are all here to support, that's for sure. So, yeah, what's involved in a day could be in the community, could be online, could be working here with us as a team. We meet often as well, and we love to support each other and help each other through the daily day, basically. Yeah, I think I've covered a few things there for everyone
so
to think
good.
about.
So now we'll kind of go, Kaz is going to talk us through the nitty gritty. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on the compensation plan because it can seem a lot when you haven't been trained in it properly. I didn't really understand the ins and outs of the comp plan until it's a little bit embarrassing, actually. It was probably like 3 to 4 years after I already started building. Kaz is nodding away as well. So you don't need to fully understand how you're getting paid. You just need to know that you will be. And you're going to potentially get paid 5 times a month. So you have uncapped earning potential. As Kaz kind of already alluded to, you get paid for the hours that you don't get paid for the hours you put in. As many hours as you want is going to grow your business faster, which will equal more income. Now, the different ways that you can get paid. The first one is retail sales, which basically means that someone can purchase from you at retail price, and then you make the difference between retail and wholesale. There is a 20% Fast Start weekly payment. Now, this basically means that you are helping someone to get doTERRA products into their home, and you are going to receive 20% of the volume of that order, the PV of that order. And that's paid out weekly. And then Power 3 Boost is a monthly bonus that we get paid for how we build our organization. Unilevel, another monthly pay, which is a small percentage over the entirety of the community that you bring into doTERRA. And then there's also leadership pools, the higher that you progress up through the ranks. So let's take a little bit of a deep dive into these.
Yep, beautiful. So I'm also guilty. I didn't introduce myself super properly, but I have been with doTERRA for 12 years, and it is probably only in the last few years that I also have actually looked into this, because I did the work because I loved it. It brought me happiness, and I had, each Friday we get paid, and by lunchtime I had some money in there to do whatever I wanted with. It was mine, or I'd put it to my order. And then every month I'd also get paid mid-month, and I'm like, well, whatever I'm doing, I'm having fun doing it, and there's money in there, so whatever. Like, I was so blasé about it. But the more I look into it, I was like, oh, I should have done this like properly ages ago. But that's what we're here for. So please don't feel like you need to make any notes with this section whatsoever. Whoever invited you here this evening, please just reach out to them or one of us that you've seen speaking here, and we will sit down and actually go through it with you. And yes, it does get easier to understand. But I think this post here is really good, because if we just like pause for a minute and think, what would $160 do for you? It's just in your account tomorrow. What does that mean to you? Does that a new outfit for that wedding coming up? Maybe it's like a trip for you and your partner to the Gold Coast for the weekend. Could it be just dinner and a movie out, like a nice dinner? What could that 160 do for you? I know for me, it could definitely do a few things quite often. Those after school activities, they add on up, and I want to be able to provide my kids with like dance classes or drama or swimming. So what if you could like double that and duplicate that? And we're going to have a look now. The next slide is basically what doTERRA is. It's a duplicatable system. And I don't know if you can notice there at the top where it says you are the CEO of your own business. How cool is that? Can you see there's no one above you whatsoever? So you actually have unlimited potential, like Nikki said, that first line of all those different things you can earn, and you do not really need to keep track of those things. They just happen automatically as your business grows. And we're here to help with that, that's for sure. So you are the CEO, and the most exciting thing is, I think, about this is you actually get to work like all of us together. So you get to actually choose who you want to work with. How many companies can you walk into and, you start your new job on Monday and you're like, I'm going to work with him, but I don't like her. Here you actually get to choose who is going to be a part of your immediate community and then how you're going to help them grow, just like we're helping you. So basically, we teach you the skills, you duplicate, and therefore it duplicates the income. And that's the really exciting thing here. So basically, there's levels you can see and there's people and, the bigger community, the better. And then all of a sudden someone over there goes, you know what? I want to do what you're doing. You're like, great, let me help you get a little pod. So I've got a pot of people and I'm going to help you get a pot of people. And as you can see, the income generates itself with those pods, which is really cool. If we have a look at this one, do you remember like playing video games, or maybe your kids have iPads and they go to play these kids games and they get to a stage where it's got the lock pad on it. And they're like, oh, you can't go to that, you can't go to that level, it's locked. You're like, sorry. Well, here, once you actually earn the minimums, which are actually not too hard to achieve, it unlocks almost double, sometimes more. So you earn a little and then it unlocks the next capacity. So that's really cool. So you can kind of see at the start what the potential is, which is really great. So level 1, let me just explain level 1 really quickly, what that looks like. It means myself here, I have placed my order for my family for the month. We've got all of our cool cleaning products coming. I've got some beauty care and my 2 favorite essential oils that I'm always out on. That's my little order. And I've also helped my community do that. So I've helped my sister do that, my cousin, my aunt, 2 friends from school. Okay, so they've also done a similar order to me. That has unlocked my first level. So now I've just received $80 there into my account. If I duplicate that or unlock the next level, that actually goes up to 160 and so on and so on and so on. So you can see, and this is just at a monthly glance, one of those lines that Nikki mentioned. So she said unlimited potential, earn weekly, monthly, earn from different pools. This is one of those pools, if you like. So yeah, I hope that kind of just gives you a glimpse, but don't forget we're here to help you expand on this as well. If you really need to know dollar for dollar, we'll sit down and go through it with you. This is another pool, and this is also a monthly payout. And I like this the most because say I'm up here, I'm the CEO of my own little corporation here, and I've got a few people, and this person over here is really amazing what they do, and they've got lots and lots of people, and they're helping, all these people out in their homes. I can actually tap in right down to the bottom of their organization and actually earn income from that is part of my pool still. Was a lot of companies, a majority, only do to like the first level. We go deep. So we're like, doTERRA's like, you have helped these people, they have helped people, you deserve just as much love back as what they're giving. And so that's one other pool. Another thing that we've got on the next one here, one of the last ones I'll just show you really quickly for the evening, is what we call ranks, I guess. And you can work your way up the ranks, but remembering that you can always outshine the person above you. There is no limit. Everyone has this opportunity, which is really, really cool. And we can send this to you also. There are different key factors there, and there's also different income levels there. You can see like it goes from like, I can't see if it's like a few thousand to like 20,000 to like 50 and 60 and 400,000. Like it's quite a big scale. So yeah, it's quite exciting when we talk about, supplementing product, getting your product paid for, or part of your income, or all. That's what we're referring to.
Yeah, so good. And I think one of the bigger things around doTERRA is the support and mentoring that you receive. I think it was Sophie actually who was alluding to the fact that it really is a self-development opportunity wrapped in a business opportunity, because we are fallible humans and we all have stories that we tell ourselves, right? And so this is such an incredible opportunity to address the junk that goes on in our heads and stops us from doing the things that we want to do, right? So yeah, please know that if you do choose to start your business and join our community to grow this, we are here to help you. We have a lot of resources. We have a Monday team call where we, troubleshoot for people and we upskill and we educate, which is awesome. We have conferences, we have leadership opportunities, we have in-person classes, which often travel around the cities, usually the main cities, so Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, sometimes Gizzy if Kaz can rally enough people. So yeah, because we are all over New Zealand and Australia as a team. And so, yeah, we offer one-on-one mentoring sessions as well with whoever has invited you along tonight, who will be your kind of direct upline. But doTERRA actually have created an huge amount of resources as well. So even if we didn't exist, there is still you can still do everything you need to do just using the stuff that they've created. But we've also created a lot ourselves as well. So, yeah, in a nutshell, you will be very well supported to grow your business the way that you feel to.
And this is just a little example of all the cool things that we've done together. So I think, yeah, everyone's said how awesome and amazing blessing it is to get to be part of such a wonderful community. And the opportunities that come with that might be sourcing trips or healing hands trips. Some of these pictures are from our convention, which you're heading to at the end of July, and having lots of celebrations at our beautiful gala. And then over here, on the right, we had an amazing trip to Vietnam at the end of last year, and currently a lot of us are working towards the next trip, which is to Cebu in the Philippines. So things like this you get to do just from sharing and loving and supporting people. And in the background, these things are churning away with points. And then some of them are things we all decide to go off and do together. And there might be some team ones in the future that we do in New Zealand as well, because now there's so many of us. I think we're probably the fastest growing team in New Zealand right now, hey? So lots more fun to come, guys, and lots more exciting things that we'll get to do together.
Awesome, and it's me to finish. So, yeah, we hope that this evening has answered a few of your questions, and yeah, scaling back on what everyone else has said. Yeah, look at your capacity and look at your why. Like, what brought you here tonight? Is there, anything else that any of us on this call can help you with, or whoever invited you along to this call? Reach out to them with any questions. Like, that's what we're here for. Like, we were in your shoes once. Like, we came along to a call or had a chat, and we had all the questions too. So please, can you just rest assured that we will answer your questions. And yeah, we've probably asked all of those questions before anyway, but we just want to make sure that you all feel welcome and can contact us if there's anything else that you would like to know.
So good. Awesome. Yay. All right. I might just I'll stop the recording now and we'll do a little bit of a Q&A.